What's up, guys? I wanted to go a little bit deeper today into helium. And the two scenarios we're looking at fairly locally. So, 1 second. So here I have on display my bullish alternative. So this is my second bias, to which I will show my primary bias after this. Starting at this low we made down here at about $3. We have what is very clearly a contracting diagonal into a wave 1 and to an initial 2. From there we can count a clear 5 waves up. Now the only issue I have with this is this wave 4. Obviously it came into the territory of the wave 1, and also how deep it came is much more indicative of a wave 2. Now you could try to force this into this being some type of weird looking, not even an expanding diagonal, just something that looks very weird and doesn't really make sense. You could try to force it. This is the best thing I can think of in terms of if we need to come down lower. If you notice, I have this weekly imbalance here at $5, which is the midway point of this high volume weekly candle, which usually is retested at one point or the other. So just to sum up, I won't go too much detail into this because it is an alternative I have in mind, but we have a clear 5 waves up, completing our initial wave 1 off the low, and an expanded flat that would have to come down into this territory at least as an ABC, and from there we would need to see the C having 5 waves minimum, and that would complete our initial 1-2. And for our wave 2 we would also love to see this weekly imbalance hit and at least the 0.5 to 618 region expected. And in between that we also have our 2618 extension, which again is extremely uncommon for a wave C. Wave C common targets are usually between 1 and 1.382 extension. So let's leave this here. Let's bring up what I think is more likely. And we have yet to create our wave 1 in this scenario. And from here, which looks much more likely to me, same scenario off the lows, contracting diagonal into a wave 1, creating our initial 1-2, and from there we have an internal 5 wave move to complete our wave 3 in yellow. This wave 3 also exactly touched the 3.618 extension, which is a long extension for a wave 3, but not the most uncommon thing to happen. Now from here, if you notice as well, our wave 2 is fairly short. It is about 3 days long. And if you see here, our wave 4 in yellow is very long, about 40 days long. This is the one small discrepancy I have with this count, is our wave 4 in yellow is much longer than our wave 2. Now, due to Elliot wave rules of alternation, this can be possible, as wave 2 was so sharp and shallow in time. Wave 4 is sideways and long in time. Zooming out, the count does still look nice. A wave 4 of such magnitude more in time than your wave 2 is not the greatest thing you like to see, but it does also make sense in this scenario. Now you'll see here the levels we touched just recently at $5.7 are two very key levels. Now I'm going to delete them here so I can show you them, what they are exactly. Now if we pull up our Fibonacci retracement levels from our entire wave 3 and toggle on some wave 4 targets, which are your 0.236, your 382 most commonly, and more rare, your 0.5. We have touched the 0.382 level exactly on the dot, which is a common target for a wave 4. Now if you also look at this scenario here and try to make sense of the move down, you can count this as a series of 3 wave type moves all the way down. Now what that is indicative of is usually a WXY pattern. Now a common pattern for a common target for your wave Y is generally the 1 to 1.236 extension. Now we already surpassed the 1, but we also came and tagged the 1.236 extension perfectly. And if we look more locally on the 4-hour, volume is heavily increasing here at the lows, as displayed by these blue and purple volume candle bars. And if we look out on the daily, down here at our volume, your highest amount of volume is in the low, which usually is indicative also of a low being in place. Now what we would like to see from here is a 5-wave impulse internal structure to complete our wave 5. A common wave 5 target is here at the 618 extension from our 3rd to 4th wave. This would bring us right up into the $12 region. Now if this is to complete, we would then have a larger 5-wave structure completed, which would then complete our initial wave 1. If we zoom out to the weekly, we can pull fibs from if we are to come up to say $12, toggle on our wave 2 targets, and we're looking again at between the $6 and the $5 region as a common area of interest for wave 2s. Also, if you remember, this $5 region area, we have that weekly imbalance. Now in this scenario, we very well could go all the way up to $12 and back down to 5. This is what I have currently for helium. I think this is the most highest probability scenario at the moment. I will continue to update you guys as time goes on. And I hope this video found you well, and enjoy your day. Thank you.